It was just last week that we were talking about upcoming patch 1.7, where Blizzard is making some major balance changes to D.Va, Ana, Roadhog, and Sombra. Well, they decided that's not quite enough, and we're seeing some further adjustments coming to the PTR in the not too distant future. So first of all, Roadhog's hook is being adjusted even further. Maybe we could call this Roadhog Hook 2.1. Basically, in the last patch, they decided to change it so that Roadhog's targets would land right in front of them after a hook, but it was this persistent line of sight check, and the line of sight check being done from the position of Roadhog, which was causing a bit of uproar among people who played Roadhog specifically, saying that it seemed pretty ridiculous that you couldn't hook someone that you could clearly see in some situations because part of their body was around a corner, or that you would hook someone and they would briefly go behind cover of a tree and that would break the hook. Blizzard has decided evidently that it was a little bit too much and they're reeling it back just a little bit. So the first thing they're doing is adding more line of sight checks towards the left and the right of a potential hook target. So when you throw out the hook, the line of sight that's done from Roadhog's position, now there's a little bit more leeway to the left and the right, meaning that if part of someone's body's behind cover, but you can still see them, it looks like that hooking will still be taking place. In addition to that, they're adding that leeway to the persistent line of sight check to make it so that targets that have hook applied, if they slightly move behind a small object like a light pole or like a tree or a stump or whatever, it's not going to break the hook just like that. In addition to that, they're actually adding a heavy slow when hook applies, which will make it less likely that momentum will carry hook targets around a corner, which again would result in hook breaking. And then finally, they fixed the bug that allowed you to spin 180 degrees and drop someone off of a ledge. So the idea here is that hook is still going to be breaking if you break line of sight, but it's going to be harder for the people getting hooked to break line of sight because of these additional line of sight checks to the left and the right, and then also the heavy slow that's coming with the stun after you get hooked. Now the thing is though, applying a hook is still going to it shouldn't work to people who you can't see. That is the ideal situation here, is that if you throw out hook and you can't see the enemy, it should not apply. But if you can see the enemy and a hook happens, then they should be reeled in. If you hook someone, they should be reeled in. They're trying to make, again, the situation where it feels fair for both sides, for the person hooking the target and for the person who's getting hooked. They don't want anything to feel like it shouldn't be happening that way, like it doesn't make any sense. So hopefully these changes are in the right direction. The next change that we're seeing is a further nerf to Ana. That's right, you heard me correctly. So in the last patch, they reduced the healing from Biotic Grenade's buff on allies by 50%. You used to get 100% boost to healing, it dropped down to 50. On top of that, the duration of the Biotic Grenade buff has been reduced from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. Now, if memory serves me correctly, Ana fires at a rate of like 1.3 shots per second. So with the 5-second duration, she used to be able to get off 6 total shots. And with the 4-second duration, now she's only going to be able to get off 5 shots of that increased healing. So not only did they reduce the amount of increased healing that she gets from Biotic Grenade, they've also cut the duration down a second. This is, again, another way to try to combat the tank heavy meta to her ability to quickly heal up these humongous health pools of the tanks. And that is really the main focus. It's not going to matter on a 200 HP hero if the duration lasts 4 seconds instead of 5 seconds, because you're going to heal them up within that time anyway. So it's just really focused on those big chunky health pools that Ana could just keep boosting up and boosting up and boosting up. That is taking yet another hit. And then finally, a buff to Sombra once again. In the last patch, we saw her hack time take 0.8 seconds instead of 1 second, and then on top of that, the cooldown of hack has been drastically reduced from 12 seconds down to 8 seconds. That is a third reduction to the cooldown. That is rather significant, and what we're going to assume here is that this just means we could hack health packs faster. No, the ideal here is that this means Sombra is going to be able to hack a health pack, and then within 8 seconds, she'll be able to then potentially use a hack in combat. Now, her problem still remains of hacking someone in combat being difficult if anyone on the opposing team is paying any attention to you. But if you can get the drop, it is easier because it's slightly faster, and with a lower cooldown, you'll be able to do it much more frequently, keeping up with the health packs that you need to, and then trying to disrupt the enemy team by hacking tagging them as well. So some pretty significant changes. I'm going to be really intrigued to see how Roadhog's hook feels now after these changes. Ana, she gets another nerf. I still don't feel like it's unjust. You know, Ana needs a hit, and so she's taking one. And Sombra getting a buff. Is the hack reduction time, the cooldown reduction, is it going to be what Sombra needs? I'll be really interested to see. Now, these changes are not on the PTR as of this recording. They could come this afternoon. They could come later this week. We're not entirely sure when, but I did want to let you know that they are coming, and I thought these were big enough changes to discuss and to make a video about. And with that, my friends, we'll be wrapping up today's video. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good afternoon, and until next time, I'll see you later.